Welcome back to Suladan Plays Driftmoon Enchanted Edition. Last time we met a wonderful a wonderful stone man while hunting for a skeleton. And, I just tried to play Driftmoon with a controller and it wasn't working. I don't know, there may be options for that. I just still had the controller in hand from the, previous thing. I don't know, I'm not dealing with that. I like using the mouse and keyboard for this. Oh, these are friendly ones! Oh. A strange device walks towards you sideways, clicking and whirring madly. It looks like a large mechanical snatcher. Click-a-clack, what's that? A man comes to steal our treasure shack? Click-a-clack, a man has a shining sword and hat. Deliver them, or we will snip-a-snap. Are you trying to rob me? Did you steal Mr. Stonehead's eye? Click-a-clack, the eye of statue you lack. It's in our treasure shack, click-a-clack. He cannot have it back. Why didn't you steal the other eye? Click-a-clack, there's another eye! Quack! Are you trying to rob me? Click-a-clack, you'll be dead in a snap. Okay, yeah, we knew this was coming. Summon sword. Haha! You're no match for us. It's just lots of buzzsaw sounds going on. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, you're worth a lot of experience, though. Tick-a-tock. Well, that worked. Didn't drop anything interesting, though. Blue slime. Oh, what was that? Yellow sphere. Looks like a giant pearl. Looks a lot like Rudolph's nose, but yellow. Certainly, it couldn't just be a recolored sprite. So was the yellow pearl eye thing the treasure of the treasure shack? Did I go to all this trouble for that? Hey, is this yellow sphere your other eye? Quest completed. Hey, stop that. Whoa, suddenly things are not half as bad, even though you don't seem as half-witted as I thought. Whole rocks, trees, even a whole sky, and... Hey, don't I know you? Yes, you're the one I've been waiting for. Wow, I've been waiting to talk to you for a ding! Statue is stopped by a strange sound, like a small bell dinging, and then a compartment opens in its side. You find a small bottled message inside. Welcome to Aone. I hope the statue was still working when you got there. The next thing you should do is find my faithful Smeeba Splub. He will not look like a regular Smeeba anymore because he'll be very old by the time you read this. I just hope he hasn't completely turned to stone yet. Treat him gently. He likes fire flowers. Good luck, brother. Good thing I already have one. Hello, old friend. It's great to see. Ding! The statue stops again at the sound of a bell, and the small compartment opens up. This time, there's nothing inside of it. Aw. That's kind of sad. He just wants to talk to me. Coin? Why is it glittering? What? What the? Oh, there's just coins under this. Okay. What the? Why do they have hook things? Okay, well that just leads to more questions. I'm gonna travel over here to the campfire. Hey, did that rock say something? Yes? You were there? You don't get to play dumb with me. You do all apparently get to clip into each other for some reason. Hello, Dagoo. Chirp with you later. You're the chirpy Dagoo. I'm gonna hazard a guess I'm looking for a big suspicious rock that I've probably walked by already. Or a Smeeba, which I already fought and killed. Still puzzled by the giant foot. Oh! What's that smell? This rock, you say? Sniff, sniff. Let's examine the rock. It's a rock. Are you Splub the Smeeba? I've got a fire flower for you. Just as you hold out the flower, something comes out from under the rock and snaps it. From under the rock comes a wheezy ancient voice. Thanks, I haven't had a fire flower for ages. Are you Splub? Yes? The voice is very raspy, like someone who hasn't spoken to anyone for a very long time. Hi, Splub. You come to deliver the mail order? Wait. You can hear a strange bubbling sound coming from inside this amoeba. What was in that fire flower? It's a bit... You can see wisps of steam coming from the old... under the old amoeba's rock-hard shell. Oh no! Did I just give it gas? I'm just gonna not question that, and I'm gonna move on with my life. Well, that one lasts a whole minute. Don't necessarily know of many fights that last a whole minute. So I'm gonna do the flurry. Also, there's a hole. Go into the cave. Oh yeah, I can't look at the world map. I was gonna see how many quests there are. Oh, hello, turtle. Cannot push the turtle. Another amoeba. Goldfish! 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 Yay! Intelligence +1. A 3,000-year-old technology brought to light. Endless possibilities, according to scientists. We have examined it, and it's certainly a magnificent discovery. There are always naysayers who fear something terrible will happen, but this technology is safer than the steam vents in your kitchens. What harm could it possibly do? This is the future of mankind on Driftmoon. The precise nature of the tech remains a mystery. It's clearly of ancient origin, perhaps even extra Driftmoonian. Possible uses include power, food, water, and for some reason milk production and weaponry. The National Defense Committee was unable to comment at this time. Ow! I am reading, you glorified... Ow. I forgot y'all exploded. Water seeping through the door. I don't think it'd be a good idea to open it. Yes, it would! I think that's actually... Ooh, yeah, I think that would be a great way to get rid of all this, you know... Oh, it's doing a sequence thing. And it's also programmed to make sure that I can't brute force my way through it by sheer hell. Or die to it, I guess would be the alternative. High silver plant 3. Mechanical snoocher in there. He's doing snoocher things. What's over here? Okay, we're gonna go this way because this looks like more of a side path. No, mechanical snatcher, no! You cannot have my corn cob. I already ate it. Okay. Newspaper. High silver plant catastrophe. Devastating accident at the Northern Plains high silver plant has killed 4 and rendered the plant unusable. It's the spirit forge. It just shouts fire, fire, and keeps melting everything that comes near it. Comments a factory worker, age 117. The malfunctioning forge is being relocated to a safe area in the mountains where, continued on page 2. Open it, don't walk into it. Well, why did you go into it? Silver feather and a huge... Oh dear, we have made a horrible mistake. Spin attack! Well, they all did. Huge ring. One big ring. I don't think I want to see the hand that goes with it. Yeah, if it has anything to do with the giant footsteps I saw. There's water seeping through this door. I don't think it would be a good idea to... Why do you refuse to flood the place? It's a perfectly safe and reasonable thing to do. You get rid of all these steam vents. They're just rotating. Or that one just can stop for a moment. You know what? Fine, we're going through brute force style. Mushroom and a spooter wood. Wib wib and wob wob. Oh, y'all are tougher than you look. I want to activate that. Thank you, Bagel. Boink. And we win. I love Feagle. Feagle has saved me so much trouble. A wood piece, 10 coins, some ingerroot oil. Chest. Looks like an ancient kitchen. Oh, that's a good use for all that boiling hot steam. Guess that is a good way to do that. Just funnel that, The problem is a lot of those steam vents carry, like, noxious fumes and stuff when they're near volcanoes. Do I even want to know? Yes. Feather. You know what's about to happen. Hello! Aww. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Where are the badgers? I was told there would be badgers. Volcanic eruptions continue as more cities sink under the waters. District leader Him comments on the lockdown. Every man and child must arm the pumps. There's absolutely no reason to evacuate. The situation is under control. While officials deny any connection to the recent technological breakthrough, conspiracy theorists, continued on page 12, Robert triggered the apocalypse, didn't he? I just know it. He triggered the end of days, and this is the post-apocalyptic wasteland that's left. It wouldn't be the first time something like that's happened. Some sort of water drainage system. It ain't doing its job. So I'm gonna take this and block it off. Wait, no, if I block it open, the cracking noise, the mechanism breaks. I'm sure that's fine. They didn't need a water drainage system, right? Don't mess with me, game. Don't put a treasure chest. And then punish me for opening it! Just being rude. Sploosh, sploosh, sploosh. Run! Switch. A glass ceiling. Ooh. Buzz Cutter of Doom. Can I attack you? You're attacking me! Pizza Cutter of Doom. Hi, mechanical snatchers. Y'all wanna fight near the buzzsaw of doom? Yeah, this was not a good plan. Ah well, alas, we will die here. But our story will live on in infamy and stupidity. I hope. It might not, you never know. That went well. Stop firing stuff at me, Pizza Cutter. And there's a weird ladder. Leading to a... Hey, Blotch! I haven't seen you in a while. No. Oh, dear. Skeleton approaches you with open arms. For some reason he has a hammer. Whoa, you almost scared me. No. Don't be afraid. It's me, Bobby. Bobby the Skeleton. And here's my buddy Blotch. And yes, this is the island from the loading screen. Indicates the snatcher. Suddenly he takes a step backwards and slaps his forehead with what's left of his palm. Oh, great. Nah, I get it. I'm having that same old dream again. Not again. Would you please pinch me? What am I gonna pinch? Yeah, that proves that I am dreaming. I'm so reluctant to discover I'm dreaming that my dream friend won't even pinch me. Great. Bobby turns his face away, looking depressed. Fine, I'll pinch you. I'll pinch one of your ribs. You lean over and pinch the skeleton, but he doesn't even twitch. See, I didn't feel a thing. I didn't move a muscle on speed dreaming. Wait, that's not right. I don't have muscles anymore to move. I meant to say I didn't move a bone. Well, of course you didn't feel a thing when I pinched your bone. You need something stronger than my pinch to feel it. You do have a point. Let me see now. Bobby looks at your weapons and grimaces, then turns his head towards Blotch. Blotch! Come here, old boy. Pinch me! The crab approaches Bobby, then gives him a quizzical look. Please, Blotch. I only need it to make sure I'm actually dreaming. Blotch holds out his toe bones, and Blotch carefully snips his great toe. When there's no reaction, the snatcher tries it again, this time with more force. See, that didn't... Oh! How that hurts. Why, you wonderful little snatcher. I'm awake. It's real. See, Blotch, there's another human here. You can't believe how happy I am to see you. I haven't seen another human being for forever. But who are you and what are you doing on my island? Pleased to meet you. Have you seen any gems around here? Sorry, I haven't seen any gems around here, Suladan. You know, that rings a bell. Something like... Have we met before? Maybe we met in Eldar's tomb. There were a lot of skeletons there. That's it. We met in Eldar's tomb. You came there and rescued me. I was there looking for something. There was a labyrinth with no light, and Liz... I'd just about forgotten about you, but you're the little firefly Liz, right? He points to Fizz. Fizz tries to hide behind you. I'll forget my own head next. That was Fizz and not Liz. What was I doing in the tomb? Do you remember anything? Dear goodness, don't try to make... I know she's not the skeleton that lost her husband. Because Bobby, you know, maybe, no, no, the greeter skeleton said he was going to stay. A skeleton who had a shop? Well, I think I did have a shop at some point, but no, it wasn't at the tomb. I remember some kind of pedestal and a bright light. Wait a minute, I was there looking for a jewel. The gem! I touched it and froze somehow, and then you came and rescued me. You've got that wrong. Yeah, I forgot for a moment that Bobby can be short for something. Yeah, that was my brother Robert, not you. Robert? Yes, that's what they used to call me, Robert the Smith. That was my name. I fought Ixal with you. I was so desperate to see you again and to fight Ixal again with you. Why? Only I could remember. Bobby stops to think. The brother! I had a brother! You're my brother, aren't you? What are you saying? You're Robert? Duh. Don't you recognize me? Don't I look a least bit like I used to? I still have this hammer. He holds out the hammer for inspection. The handle's been changed and it's worn out quite a bit, but it looks exactly like the little hammer Robert always loved so dearly. But but my brother Robert was a man, not a skeleton. Yes, and all men have skeletons in them. I don't know which one to say. Also, this is the thing that I was kind of hinting at that I remembered from earlier in development where Robert became a skeleton. But yeah, there's Robert, everybody. He came back to the future the long way round by becoming an immortal skeleton that can stay locked up on an island so he doesn't lose. I don't know. I guess that's one way to make sure he's where he needs to be. He didn't know when I was going to get here, but he knew I'd get here eventually. I really want to introduce him to Captain Catdog now. You really are, Robert. Where's the gem? When Robert and I last met, he promised there'd be a gem waiting here. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? I came here to hide it, but now I've forgotten where I put it. It could be anywhere. The skeleton digs the sand with his toes. At least it's a good hiding place, if only I could remember where that was. My brother Robert was a man, not a skeleton. That's it. I'm the skeleton of a man, the skeleton of Robert. This is all what's left of me now. You see, when I first got to the past, I was desperate to find a way back to the future. I spent years searching for a way, but I never found one. I almost gave up until one day I realized how many years I'd already spent in the past. I was already 2% of the way there. So I thought if there was no quick way to get to the future, there's always the slow way. See, the Pendant of Resurrection will turn a man into an undead walking skeleton within seconds. If you hold it against your skin, a single gem from the pendant does just the same, only it takes a really long time. Which reminds me, you have had your gems in a bag, right? I came here with the Gem of Roe and waited, and waited. For years I held that gem in my hand, and finally it started working. You can't believe how disgusting it is to have your brain ooze out of your nose like that, though. He takes a look at your pale face. Maybe I'll spare you the details. At first I didn't think I could live with myself looking like a skeleton, but then I figured out I'm already dead, so I don't have to. If you use the gem, how can I trust you? True, I have to admit, I did become a bit evil. I got into the habit of biting my fingernails, but later on they dropped off when I became a skeleton, and I tend to eat too much, but fortunately that's not a problem anymore. I've also become very lazy, and as you can see I haven't cleaned here for decades. I think you can trust me. I don't feel the least bit eviler than that. You told me your name was Bobby. That's what Bloodshare always calls me. I didn't even remember my real name until you mentioned it. I haven't used it for so long. Do you have any proof that you're still Robert? Oh yes, I still have that tattoo. Just joking, I never had any tattoos, or any funnily shaped birthmarks. And try as I might, I can't remember much of our childhood together. So I can't tell you any secret passwords we used to use as kids. Even if you had tattoos, they would have fallen off. Your potential skeletal brother sighs. All I remember is I came here to deliver the gem to you, and I've been waiting to continue our fight against Ixal for a very long time. Isn't that enough? Robert fractured his collarbone when he fell from the big tree in Northrop. Could I have a look at your collarbone? The big tree! I didn't even remember that one. Bobby showed you his left collarbone, and it still shows a clear sign of having fractured at some point in the past. Then again, his other bones are pretty worn out as well. Alright, I believe you. It's good to see you again. Finally! You have no idea how long I've waited to hear those words. Thank you, brother. It really means the world to me to see you again, and to hear you say that. Your newfound brother gives you a tight, bony hug. Suddenly you spot a glimmer in one empty eye socket. It's the gem! Robert, you hid the gem inside your skull. You could have been turning more and more evil this whole time and you'd have never known it. Very funny. That's exactly the reverse of what I used to say to you. Robert tries to peer inside his own head. Oh, you're right. That's where I put it. I remember now. When my pockets wore out after a few hundred years, I only had two choices. To hide the gem in a box in the ground and let it be stolen by curious pirates, or carry it with me. Inside my skull was the only safe place I knew, so that's why I've been avoiding kneeling positions to prevent it from falling out. You develop these habits, and after a few hundred years, you forget all about why. Robert leans forward and the gem drops out into his bony fingers. He hands it to you. Here you are, brother. Just don't hold it in your hand for too long or you'll end up as handsome as I am. Robert watches you place the gem safely inside your luggage, then he continues as bravely as ever. Great, we're ready to fight Ixal now. Let's go. Oh my dear goodness, no. What have I done? No. What have I done? No, I could have left this menu. No. Okay, how did you get here? I had the hardest time. Well, being well on my way to becoming an undead skeleton, which is why, you know, they kept mentioning how pale Robert looked and how sickly he looked when he, you know, went there. I just walked here. Bet you didn't know the sea bottom has paved roads. It's true, they're from the sunken kingdom of Eleanor. I actually visited the ruins under the sea. You wouldn't believe the things I saw there. But that's what I hear about. Well, what's that I hear about you having difficulties getting here? Didn't the steam oil company take you there? I'm sure I remembered to book the passage. Their ships had been frozen solid and we had to use a submarine. Oh, very resourceful, though. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, well, at least I get to see it now. Did you build the huge black stone head? Wait, a huge stone statue? Robert looks around in confusion, then he turns back to you and replies excitedly. Oh, you're talking about my statue Rapakivi, the one I built on Aone. Took me some years, but I did. Built the statue for you, so that only you would find my hiding place. And the statue didn't fail me, so since you found me, thank the maker you did. I trust it worked well. Tried to make it look like Mom so you'd know it was for me. It didn't recognize me since one of its eyes had been stolen by mechanical snatchers. Oh, the mechanical snatchers. Yeah, they were one of my bigger mistakes. There was a visitor a while ago here and he nearly found me, so I decided to add some defenses. I made some really cool automated guards, cleverly using some of the mechanical parts I found from the ruins and the underwater passages. They could snip a man's head right off. They were only supposed to keep unwanted people away from the statue and not do a thing to you or me. Too bad they had a programming error, though, which made them attack me on sight. I think you misplaced your pet Smeeba. Robert stares at you unblinkingly, a feat which is not terribly difficult to accomplish if you're a skeleton. What? How? What happened to him? I gave him the fireflyer you instructed. We had to use fizz to get it bloom, and Splub just flew off like a balloon. That must have been one powerful fireflower. Robert eyes Fizz carefully. What a strange little firefly you are. Then he looks up. Oh, don't worry. Splub will come down eventually. Smeeba shell's hardened with age. Splub's so old he's like a steel ball. He'll survive. Couldn't your wizard pal Tobias help you get to the future? That deaf old wizard? Well, he did manage to enable us to talk through time, but it's something about the laws of causality and all. He thought it was impossible to go into the future because it didn't exist yet, only to the past. We tried and tried, but no, it didn't work. All we managed to do was send one of my rib bones somewhere, and we never found it. You haven't seen it, have you? Don't I have a random rib bone? Is this your rib bone? You can have it back. Well, that is my rib bone, thanks. Robert places the rib bone back into place, and by strange magic, it stays there. Oh, I feel so much better. Robert's constitution, +6. Didn't I already see this? Thanks again. Oh, the one you found. Thanks again for retrieving it. It changed that. What happened after you left the monastery? Okay, let me see now. I robbed the gem of Bro cleverly while it was being moved. Apparently it was I who stole it originally, and that gave me the idea to steal it, and the reason why it was never found is that I brought it here. Oh, I wonder what would have happened if we'd never gotten involved. Oh well, I guess we'll never know now. After that, I spent half a lifetime trying to get to the future, but it never worked. In the end, I just used the gem to turn into an undead skeleton and came to the future that way. Then I walked on the sea bottom all the way to Aone. Had a lot of time on my hands, so I tinkered with this and that, like the giant stone statue I built to keep everyone except you away. It wasn't easy getting the eyes to recognize you, I can tell you that. What's it been like all these years on the island? Oh, there's never a dull day. I have my friends, and suddenly Robert stops. Oh, who am I kidding? It's been a nightmare. He leans on your shoulder and starts sobbing. 1,000 years of sand. Sand and more sand. Sure, sandy beaches are pretty, but I would have been happy for some change, even just a tiny patch of mud. But no. Without the occasional bird dropping by, yeah, an old blotch here, and a bottled message arriving once in a decade, this sand would have probably bored me to death. You could have found the gems and destroyed them before Ixal got back into power again. Ooh, that's a difficult one. At first, when I realized I was actually in the past, I went straight to Eldar and Paul and told them what would happen. We demolished Ixal's fortress, we tried to melt the gems, we even sent men to wipe out the Rakan Empire before they started helping Ixal. If history was really changed, Ixal never regained his strength, and you didn't need to come to see me here. Haven't heard any news from the mainland for centuries. You tell me, did history change? Nope. That's right, I bet the fortress was meant to be demolished so it would be rebuilt stronger, and what if the Rakan wouldn't have allied with Ixal had we not tried to destroy them? Now I'm not so sure it's even possible to change the past since it already happened. Trust me, I've had a lot of time to think about it. Let me see what you're carrying. I leveled up, apparently. 4 strength. Damage 300. A hammer. You know what? The Starbanger does the same damage. But you're gonna use it. That's a man of mine. I keep trying to put it on. Here you go, Robert. Here, have some armor. Here you go. Have a fancy thorny hat. Do I have anything else interesting? No? No. Ooh, a shield. You can use the shield. This is Snap's shield. You're a skeleton. He was a skeleton. You know, think of all the niceties. I have a... Okay, I was about to say, what's Fiegel doing here? I'm not in a fight. Suladan, Robert, I've asked Fiegel to deliver this note as soon as you two have been reunited. The time has come to reforge the Pendant of Resurrection and free your father from Ixal's dungeons. We must enter Ixal's volcano fortress, Sameth, and enclose the location of our secret meeting place. Travel undercover and keep the gems with you at all times. May the Maker watch over your steps. Your friend, Paul the Librarian. P.S. Sarah, you can trust Luna. She is the most extraordinary whale I have ever met. Okay, that's amusing. I was wondering what that bird was doing. It's been spinning around here for days now. Well, we better not keep Paul waiting. I'm eager to finally get into some action. Hey, Blotch! Hello, matey. Thanks for freeing me from the gallows in Northrop. What are you even doing here? Just chatting with me mate Bobby here, while they be waiting for me date. Bobby's got a lot of stories. You've got a girlfriend? I've got a great big whopper of a girlfriend. I met with this lovely lass on the way here, a moon whale. Her name is... Well, I can't say it above land. I'll be meeting her on the next tide. A moon whale? Isn't that a bit out of your league? In your weight class? Why, I've been chasing huge treasures all my life, but she's the biggest treasure yet. Her eyes are like... I don't know what her eyes are like. This soppy love business isn't easy for a pirate. Do you remember if you once long ago helped a pirate on the island of Aone learn another language? A parrot? That was old Blotch, all right, or young Blotch to be exact. It was a pretty bird called Countess who was traveling with a young adventurer called Catdog. I first taught that chick some moon whalish language and then helped the two of them hitch a ride on a passing moon whale. 'Twas such a long time ago, I was only just learning the human lingo myself. Robbie tells me he's my brother Robert. Blow me down, that's a load of bilge. But if I were you, I'd be smartly believe whatever he says, or he'd be stepping on you. Wait, he couldn't step on you, you're too big. Give them no quarter. I'm going to take that. So this is the loading screen. How fascinating. If I could no-clip out over the water, I wonder whether the water keeps going forever, or whether it ends. What are these tunnels exactly? Oh, we're under the sea. This is one of the Eleanorian colonies before the whole kingdom sunk. What caused it to sink? I don't know, but that was before Ixal's first coming. I think they actually lived in these tunnels for a while even after the catastrophe, but they had left before I got here. This is where I found the parts for all those snatchers. I've been keeping the pumps maintained for hundreds of years. I may have broken that pump there. Can we? No. Down the hatch we go. My dear goodness, I get trapped. Pizza cutter. I still want to know what's up with the pizza cutter of doom. Wait, idea. Good idea, really good idea. Fascinating idea. We're gonna try it. Oh, it's not gonna work. Come with me, box. We're trying it anyway. Nope. And now my entourage won't let me move the box. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Hey, we can fight it. We're doing it. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but we're doing it. Finish it off. Or not. Get it on the second pass. Pizza cutter of doom. Aww. I keep hearing stone sounds. Oh well, I guess I wasn't supposed to fight the Pizza Cutter of Doom, but yay, free XP. I was hoping it would drop a legendary weapon, the Pizza Cutter of Doom, but it did not. Oh well, we broke that. It's gonna be funny when I find out the whole place is flooded. I've been underwater, I drowned long ago, I just never realized it. And we've gone everywhere except the underwater area. I mean, unless I can voop my way up onto the wall, which I probably cannot. Didn't think I could that other time either, but you know. So we gotta go back to the boat. Time to mess with Cat Dog. Oh, Captain. Robert, get back here. Captain. Quest completed. You found the Jim Moreau and your thin brother. Enter the submarine? Yes. Captain. Sarah looks at the same time relieved and proud that you've successfully gotten this far in your mission. I don't think I've ever been on a stranger trip. Alright, I better get Steamy all set for departure. When you're ready to leave, press the big red button again and we'll start the journey back. But before you press the button, make sure you haven't forgotten anything, because I don't think Steamy's up for another trip like this, and neither is Captain Cat Dog. It's him! It's him! The terrible undead man! Run for your lives! The captain looks about ready to jump in the ocean and swim to certain death in the currents of Aeone just to get away from Robert. Calm down, Captain. He's not dangerous. He's my brother. He's right behind... Wait, really? Your brother? Your brother? The captain takes a few deep breaths. Well, I can't say I see the resemblance, but if you're so certain, I probably should take your word for it. Cat Dog examines Robert critically. I have to tell you, Robert, you really... I have to tell you, Robert, you really scared the flying flabberfish out of me last time I was here on this island. Cat Dog and Robert shake hands. I always trust a man with a firm handshake. You're all right in my book, Mr. Skeleton. Captain leans over to you and lowers his voice. I have to admit, though, that brother of yours still gives me the shivers. Cat Dog takes a quick peek at Robert, then shakes his head, sighs, and smiles. So, Zuladan, Robert, are you ready to get started? I'm anxious to get away from here. Don't worry, we will leave soon. I don't know of anything left to do on the island. I would really appreciate having a world map, though, so I could see and make sure I did all the quests. You know, where you could look and it'll say, hey, you've done all the quests. Hello, Robert. Hello, Zuladan. I was just... Ding! The statue stopped at the sound of the bell. Small compartment opens up. There's nothing inside it now. Oh, I didn't think about what would happen once it's already given you the message. It'll probably just do that over and over again every time he sees you. I think we'll do him a favor and just let him be. You couldn't maybe fix him before we leave? Okay, well, there does not appear to be anything left to do on this island. What I'm gonna do, though, is make another save, just in case, and push the big red button. Steamy's engine kicks to life with a mighty roar, and the beautiful but dangerous island of Aeone is left behind. The return trip is no less perilous than the trip to Aeone, but your offers to help Sarah and Cat Dog navigate the submarine are politely refused. As you pass the time talking with Robert, you start to realize just how much he has lost during his long wait. Robert tries to tease Fizz and chats cheerfully with other people, but alone with you, he describes his lonely life on Aeone. There is a melancholy in him that is hard to describe. It's as if he knows that he's lost something more important than flesh, and that there's no way to get it back in this life. You shudder at the thought of Robert spending 1,000 years on that isolated island, that cursed gem wrapped tightly in his hand, his flesh slowly rotting away. He didn't have to do any of this. He could have just settled down somewhere and lived a happy life in the past, but he chose the hard way to be here with you to face the Monster King Ixal. The gems feel heavy in your pocket. Reassembling the Pendant of Resurrection means going to the very heart of Ixal's empire, the dreaded fortress of Mor Sarmeth. Is your father still alive in its dungeons? Can you find a way to defeat Ixal, as the submarine finally approaches the caves under Nomon docks? You do your best to prepare yourself for the inevitable battle against the evil king. One thought rises above the others, a thought almost unthinkable to you. What happens if you fail? That, Zuladan, was quite an adventure. I really enjoyed it. It's been so invigorating adventuring with you. I feel like... Suddenly Sarah jumps up looking surprised. Wait! That's it! I just realized something I must do. I have to go and get started right now. I don't have time to explain. Where are you going? I have really important work to do, and if I get started right now, if it's to be done on time. I'm sorry, I really want to come help you fight Ixel, but you've just got to go on without me. Please, just promise me you'll be careful. I don't know what to do if something awful happened to you. She looks straight in your eyes, her beautiful face full of concern and kindness, then her cheeks turn red. A tear trickles down her cheek and she runs away. You could have given me the stuff. Did I give her any stuff, or did she just have a bow naturally? Cat and Cat Dog's eyes. Jumping juggernauts, there she goes again. She can be like that when she really gets going. Must be something important. Well, it may be good that she has something to do here at the docks, because this place should be safer than the place we're heading for. The captain smiles for a while, then adjusts his jacket and starts cleaning his licorice pipe. Oh, well, I must get started. It's a long way to this. What did you say it was again? Fortress of More Sardines? More Sermet. Are you saying you plan to come with me? Aye, that blue-bellied barrelfish destroyed me harbor, nearly froze me and my friends nearly to death, and to top it all off, he broke my ship. Hear me, Ixel, I'm coming for you. Cat Dog waves his licorice pipe in the air angrily. You've got a good attitude, buddy. Let's go. We gonna exit the submarine. We gonna exit the cave. And I'm gonna scratch my ear. Okay, let's see. Quests done, quests done, quests done, quests done. No quests, quests done, quests done, quests done, and we're not going there yet, but there's 9 quests. What I am gonna do is go back down this ladder so that the buzzing can go away. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.